Welcome to the Calcutta Race Season 2021 Christmas Meeting, 3rd day, Saturday, 12th December, race preview. The first race we are looking at is the Fairhaven Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. The first race we are looking at is race number 152. We focus on two runners, horse number 1 Leslie and horse number 3 Wind Chaser. Leslie was travelling in 7th spot as they entered the home straight, then finished on 6th. In Wind Chaser, who was travelling in 6th spot, made up one place, finished on 5th. The winner here was Bang Bang, who was travelling on the outer rail and won that race by about a length and 3/4. Next, we look at race number 8 in this season, where Romantic Zeal was travelling in front as they entered the home straight and into the last 300 meters, weakened very rapidly and finished on 4th of 4 runners. The winner here was Ghost, and Romantic Zeal, however, had won its previous start in the winter season in race number 153. Next, we're looking at race number 1 in this season, where Tomorrow Forever was traveling in 8th spot as they entered the home straight. Made some progress, Tomorrow Forever. You can see that in the claret and dark green sash, and then finished on 5th. The winner was Astral Star, who won that in a two-way finish by about half a length. Next, we are looking at two runners here in race number 153. We have El Mulano, who was traveling in 3rd spot and eventually finished on 2nd. Fell short by about 4 lengths to Romantic Zeal. And we also have number 8, The Last Judgment. The Last Judgment was traveling in 10th spot, fell back further, finished on 11th of 12 runners, about 10 lengths from the winner. Lastly, we are looking at Star of Hollywood, and the Star of Hollywood in race number 2 in this season was travelling in 4th spot as they entered the home straight, and then Star of Hollywood made a move down the centre and challenged for the lead for a while, but fell short with the fast finishing ZOYA, who came up on the wide outside and won that race in the dying stages, and Star of Hollywood settled for 3rd spot, about a length from the winner. We move on to the second race of the afternoon, the Cradle of the Deep Handicap for 3-year-old horses over 1200 meters. The first runner we are looking at is ASHWAMEGH, who's already had a couple of starts and was slow to begin in its first start in race number 7, where it finished 7th of 9 runners. In the next start, ASHWAMEGH was again slow to begin, then made up rapid progress and ran up with the pace, and then finished on 5th of 7 runners. The winner was Sirona. Next, we are looking at two runners here in race number 1, and where we had Sunshine Boy and we had Think Big. Sunshine Boy did not put up any show there, finished 11th of 11 runners, and we had number 6, Think Big. Think Big also was racing towards the rear of the field as they entered the home straight, was 10th of 11 runners, but made some progress, finished on 7th of 11 runners. The winner here was Astral Star. Next, we have two runners we are looking at, number 4, Timax, and number 5, which is Isadora. And we also have number 8, INCA, and number 9, Simran's Pet. Now, Simran's Pet was racing in 6th spot and finished on 13th. We had number 8, INCA, who was travelling in 5th spot but fell back and finished on 9th. Timax was travelling in 10th spot, finished on 11th, and we have number 5, Isadora. Isadora was travelling 14th as they turned the 4 home, then finished on 12th. The winner here was ASOS, who won that race by about 2.5 lengths. Number 7 is Dothraki. Dothraki is by Top Class out of Silvana, and in its opening race in race number 16, where Dothraki was travelling in 7th spot as they entered the home straight, but made some progress, finished on 5th of 9 runners. In its earlier start, Dothraki had also placed in race number 143 over 1100 meters behind Phoenicia Mist. We move on to the third race of the afternoon, the Cholet handicap for horses rated 41 to 66 over 1100 meters. We are looking at race number 11 in this season, where we had three runners. Number 1, LUMOS, who was traveling in 7th spot, weakened and finished on 9th. And we also had number 3, Glorious Leaps. Glorious Leaps was in forward position as they entered the home straight for a while, looked good, and then finished on 2nd to Hukumat, who took that race by about 3 1/4 lengths. We also had number 5, Philadelphia. Philadelphia was traveling in 3rd spot, then finished on 4th. Next, we're looking at number 2, Intense Suspense. Intense Suspense had moved from Mysore and has already had 3 starts over here. And in its last start in race number 148 in the cold weather season, Intense Suspense was traveling in 3rd spot. And when the race came to a boil, Intense Suspense didn't have much to offer, finished on 6th of 8 runners. The winner here was Lumos, who won that race by about 2 1/4 lengths. Next, we're looking at 2 runners here in race number 5. We have number 4, Phoenicia Mist, and number 8, Angel Grace. And Phoenicia Mist went on a start to finish mission, was given a breather as they entered the home straight, then kicked away from the field, won that race by about half a length from the late finishing Moskova. We had number 8, Angel Grace. Angel Grace was traveling in mid bunch for the most part and then finished on 3rd, about 3 lengths from the winner. Next up, we're looking at number 6, Aggression. Aggression was a very easy winner in its earlier start in race number 97 over 1200 meters. In its last start, Aggression met one better in the form of Sullivan, and Aggression fell short by a short neck after traveling in mid spot throughout, challenge for the lead, and just was unlucky on that day. Number 7 is Astoria. In race number 119, Astoria was traveling in 5th spot as they entered the home straight, and then didn't have much to offer and fell back, finished on 8th of 8 runners. The winner here was Artful, and Astoria is by air support out of Sangre Azul. We move on to the 4th race of the afternoon, the Theogondi handicap for horses rated 21 to 46 to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. The first runner we are looking at is number 1, Guitar Girl, who completed an encore in this race. And Guitar Girl was traveling in 6th spot and then made gradual progress. And in the last 150 meters, Guitar Girl pulled away from the field, won that race by 4.5 lengths. We also have number 7, which is Demonstrate. Demonstrate was traveling in 7th spot throughout and then finished on 5th. We also have a number 9, which is Krisha's Choice. Krisha's Choice eventually cut down the margin and finished on 2nd. And we had number 11, which is Berluti. Berluti went on a start to finish mission, weekend to finish on 3rd. Next up, we're looking at number 2, Viaraggio in race number 17, where Viaraggio was traveling in 7th spot. Didn't make any impression, finished on 7th. And we also have number 12, Mystic Star. Mystic Star was chasing the leader throughout, and then when the race came to a boil, Mystic Star actually fell back a little bit and finished on 4th in a 3-way finish for the minor placings. And the winner here was Dornish. Number 3 is Eastern Crown. Eastern Crown was racing in 7th spot as they entered the home straight in race number 21 and then finished on 6th to Summer Air. Then we have number 4, Rare Bird in race number 152. Rare Bird was traveling in 8th spot. You can see it in the purple jacket with the light green epaulets. And then Rare Bird made progress towards the inside, took the shortest way. And there was almost a 4-way finish as they entered the last 100 meters. But Rare Bird fell short from the fast finishing Bang Bang, who came up on the wide outside. Next, we look at number 5, TR Queen. In race number 3, TR Queen was traveling in 9th spot and then weakened and finished on 11th. TR Queen, however, had won a race in race number 32 in the previous cold weather season, where it beat Moskova. Next we look at Exile in race number 145. Exile was traveling in 14th spot as they entered the home straight and then came up down the center. You can see it in the dark grey jacket with the red star, and Exile finished on 9th of 14 runners. And Exile had won a race in race number 28 earlier in the season over 1600 meters, beating Star of Hollywood. Next we look at number 8, Daring Heart. Daring Heart has had two placed efforts so far. First in race number 101 over 1400 meters, where it finished third to Black Pearl. In its last start, the one we are looking at over here, Daring Heart was looking good for a while, and then Daring Heart fell short and finished on third, about 2 lengths from the winner, which is Namiki. Next we have number 10, People's Pride. People's Pride in race number 1. People's Pride was racing in 5th spot as they entered the home straight, and then when asked for an effort into the last 100 meters, People's Pride really warmed up and looked very good into the last 50 meters, and then it was beaten close home by Astral Star by about half a length. Next we look at number 13, Nandini's Pet. Nandini's Pet in race number 7 was leading the pack as they entered the home straight, but weakened and finished on 5th of 9 runners. The winner here was Ghost, and Nandini's Pet is by New Famous out of Festival Night. We come to the feature race of the afternoon, the 5th race of the day, the Calcutta 1000 Guineas 2020 Grade 3. First runner we are looking at is number 1, Apsara Star. Apsara Star was a winner in race number 107 over 1100 meters, where it beat Dornish. In its next start, Apsara Star was running in forward position but got close home by the eventual winner, which is Violin. And Violin had come down from southern India after racing in the Poonawada Breeders Multimillion, and Violin was travelling in 5th spot and took charge into the last 100 meters and drew away from the field, beating Apsara Star. Next runner we are looking at is number 2, Astral Star. Astral Star, after having a debut in the previous season in race number 40, where it finished on 3rd to Black Pearl. In its last start, Astral Star was racing in 6th spot, and then in the last 150 meters or so, Astral Star absolutely flew home and got that race, beating People's Pride. Number 3 is Mystic Wonder, Win Legend out of Verona. In its last start, Mystic Wonder was looking good into the last 100 meters or so, where it was fighting it out, and then there was a late surge by Ghost, who came towards the inside and got that race, and Mystic Wonder had to settle for 2nd spot. Next we're looking at 2 runners here. First, number 4, Namiki. Namiki has had couple of wins in its previous season, and its last start, Namiki was travelling in 5th spot, then finished on 3rd after making late progress. And we also had number 5, Silver Bracelet. Silver Bracelet was travelling in 2nd spot throughout. Then when given the rein, Silver Bracelet pulled away from the field, winning that race by 3 1/4 lengths, beating Mountain Lion. Lastly, we look at Zoya, multi-dimensional out of Yana, and in its first start, Zoya was racing in 6th spot as the race developed into the last 200 meters. For a while, it looked like Zoya is struggling and was not picking up the momentum. But then, into the last 50 meters, Zoya absolutely flew on the outside and got that race by a long neck, beating Right Move. We move on to the 6th race of the afternoon, the Fame Star Handicap for horses rated 61 to 86 to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. The first race we look at is race number 151, where we have 2 runners, number 1 Arjuna and number 5, which is Dancing Lord. Arjuna was travelling in front as they entered the home straight. Into the last 100 meters as well, Arjuna was in front, but there was a cavalry charge and Arjuna fell back, finished on 7th. And Dancing Lord, who was travelling in 6th spot, came up with a run, and towards the inside, you can see it in the dark jacket, and finished on 2nd to Valeria. Next, we have 2 runners here in race number 12, number 2 INCA and number 6 Gold Bond. INCA was traveling in third spot, then finished sixth of 7 runners. And number 6, Gold Bond, who was traveling in fifth spot, weakened and finished on 7th behind Jayavant. Number 3 is Spitfire, Phoenix Star out of Athlone, and after moving down from Western India, it has had 4 starts in Calcutta. And its last start, Spitfire was traveling in 9th spot, didn't make any impression, finished on 9th of 10th runners, and the winner here was Valeria. Midnight Phantom is by Midnight Interlude out of Golden Bright, and likes to go over longer trip. However, in its last start over 1200 meters, it was traveling in last spot, made some progress, finished on 6th. And in its previous season, in race number 146, it did win a race over 2000 meters, beating Head Boy. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, the Birthday Girl Handicap, for horses rated 41 to 66 to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. We look at race number 9, where we have 2 runners, number 1 APNA Time Aayega and number 3 Kimaya. The race for the winner was over long way from home, where Supreme Legacy won that race by a distance. But the fight for the minor placing went on till the last 50 meters, where Kimaya looked like had the second place in the bag, but there was a late surge by Apna Time Aayega, and Apna Time Aayega beat Kimaya for the second spot by a long nick. Next, we have 2 runners in race number 5, where we have number 4 MOSKOVA. MOSKOVA was traveling in third spot, then made some late gain and finished on 2nd. We also had number 5 Atom, who's Arazan out of Firefoot, and Atom was traveling in 6th spot, finished on 5th, and the winner here was Phanesia Mist. Next, we have 2 runners we're looking at in race number 4. We have Avellino, and Avellino was traveling in 9th spot, and then Avellino finished on 6th. And we also have number 8 Supernormal. Supernormal was traveling in 6th spot, but weakened and finished on 9th. In its previous start in the winter season, in race number 157, Avellino did finish on 2nd to Kimaya over 1600 meters. Lastly, we look at number 7 Classico, and Classico was traveling in 8th spot as the horses turned for home in race number 157, and then Classico finished on 8th, and Classico had won a race in race number 111 in the winter season over 2000 meters, beating Prince of Heart. That's the lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. See you for our first classic on YouTube and Facebook Live.